Hi guys, I'm Carri Wilbanks here in Digby, Nova Scotia at the Digby Golf Resort and Spa, a place that could not be in a more spectacular setting. Boasting commanding views of the Bay of Fundy, this seasonal 4-star resort is the crown jewel of Digby's accommodations.
It's a very historic property built in 1929 by Canadian Pacific Railway. We really try to stick to that grandiose look.
Here you can choose to stay in a traditional hotel room or book a cabin, which is perfect for families looking for more space.
We have 31 cottages on the property that are more like hotel rooms connected with a living room. They all have decks, so it gives you a small suite feel.
On a visit, you do not want to miss a trip to the golf course, which is one of the biggest draws of the resort.
The golf course is very unique. It was built by Stanley Thompson, opened in 1931. Thompson designed the course as a mirror image of Muirfield in Scotland. We were lucky enough back in 1942 to host Babe Ruth. And the legend is, whether you can believe the legend or not, he's the first one to drive the 11th green with a golf ball.
You will also find short distance hiking trails that overlook the Annapolis Basin.
We offer something for everybody, whether it's the golfer, the historian. The Digby Pines experience is a step back in time. We feel we offer the best of both worlds and look forward to everybody coming and experiencing Digby Pines and allowing us to make your memories our magic. While staying here, Churchills Restaurant and Lounge is something that will keep you coming back time and time again for a list of local produce and seafood and much more.
Churchills Restaurant is where we like to show off what we can do from a culinary point of view. Not only are we the capital of the world for Digby scallops, but there's a lot of other things. We get kale, we have beet greens, we have chickens, we have lots of product that's within almost 100 kilometers of the Pines, and we like to draw on that.
To get a taste of Digby's local flavor, of course you want to order the scallops, but you will also find all kinds of other options, which are oftentimes made with edible flowers. Also check out the Sunday night dinner buffet, which is a local's favorite. Although it's a popular spot at night, it's also the place to see and be seen for Sunday brunch. The resort is tucked away but still nearby to the town of Digby, where you'll find plenty more entertainment in a historic setting. The town was settled by Loyalists in 1783.
During the tour, we walk along the waterfront primarily, recount some of the Loyalist history, particularly about some of the early settlers and seafarers who came here. These were people who were refugees from the American Revolution.
Next, we carry on from the historic seaboard to see the Trinity Anglican Church, which features Gothic Revival architecture, and we look at some of the old homes on Queen Street, built in the late 1800s by the merchants who lived in the town and operated stores on the waterfront.
We'd be happy to host people here in Digby to experience our waterfront, what we consider to be one of the most romantic places in Canada.
Staying at Digby Pines Golf Resort and Spa offers easy access to some of Western Nova Scotia's must-see spots, starting with a trip to some nearby islands. From Digby, it's just a 5-minute ferry ride to Brier Island, which is where we meet up with Roger Outhouse for the Jungle Down Under tour. The high tides, some of the highest in the world, leave places like the Northeast Cove dry enough it's possible to investigate the ocean floor and mudflats.
The key sheer number of millions of organisms that are under that mud and in those crevices is just unbelievable. Almost like going to an Amazon rainforest. Ornate worms to bloodworms to ice cream cone worms, hermit crabs, green crabs, rock crabs. You can expect to see almost anything.
Every year, new plant and animal species are discovered here too.
Instead of thinking of it as a barren, cold, yucky place to be, it's important to recognize that it's full of millions of creatures that are out there doing their job for us daily. And, we need to be doing the same thing for them. Without them, and without all the creatures and plant life that exists in them, we wouldn't have any of the fisheries or migrations of birds.
From Brier Island, it's just another 5-minute ferry ride over to Long Island, where you can spot lighthouses in Seal Cove. Some of the island's most entertaining residents reside here. It's a rainy day for us, which kept them at bay. On the way back to Digby, you will definitely want to check out the Balancing Rock Trail. The rock in question is actually a giant basalt sea stack rising out of St. Mary's Bay. At night, don't miss the chance to drive over to Annapolis Royal for a candlelight graveyard tour. Our guide, Alan Melanson, a 10th generation Acadian, has been taking visitors around Canada's oldest English graveyard for more than 25 years. By the light of our lanterns, we learn how to decode the engravings like a flowering scroll and winged skull.
Western Nova Scotia's Annapolis Valley is definitely worth exploring, especially when it comes to the wineries.
Dozens of varieties of grapes are grown in these fertile valleys, bookended by 2 mountain ranges. Look at Vineyards offers vantage points that are perfect to sit down and enjoy a delicious meal from the on-site cafe. Luckett is famous for its vintage phone box, where visitors can ring any number in Northern America for free. Less than a 5-minute drive from Luckett, one can find Nova Scotia's first winery, Grand Pre. Acadians originally settled it in the late 17th century, and more than 300 years later, it's still in operation. It only grows Nova Scotia grapes, and each step of the winemaking process pays homage to the local environment and climate. From its ageless fishing industry to its landmark buildings, hiking and nearby vineyards, history is very much alive in Digby. And there's no time like the present to visit.